Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Mystical Illuminations family. This is Majestic Magi with my lovely co-host, neighborhood hope dealer,
Yes.
and we are coming back at you with another episode of Transmutation Station. Checking in. We're kind of little. We're not really solid on our Transmutation Station game these days, but I feel like we were just talking. We always show up when we're meant to, right? So,
Yep.
um,
We're like little guardian angels that pop in. They give you what you need whenever you need it.
right.
Go on about our lives.
Right, for sure. I guess we just came up with today's topic was executive decisions, and initially I just kind of thought I'm kind of funny. I don't know. I'm kind of funny, so I thought it was funny at first, but there's some validity to it. You know what I mean? Um, I guess in a nutshell, that sometimes in your life, as we grow and we evolve and we're stepping into our wisdom and our wiser selves, and we have to make executive decisions. You got to be the leader in your own game sometimes. I mean, and you know there's no forward move if you're not taking action for yourself and or accountability. And every day's a new day, so we're in an imperative time, from my understanding, or for what I can speak about for up until this point, is that it's imperative you're making executive decisions. It's also imperative you're actually thinking for yourself. And some rules, I guess, are meant to be broken, and that was kind of like the little joke around executive decisions. Clearly, we make executive decisions in our own lives and in our working environments, or whatever it is that you choose to do. But if and then ask yourself, is it for the highest greatest good? Is it serving a higher purpose? You know what I mean? And sometimes you do have to make those decisions. You got to make decisions to move forward in your path, and what's going to serve you for your highest best self. And it doesn't have to look pretty to anybody else, and it don't nobody else has to agree with it. And you just have to be able to be strong enough to move forward and push forward from there with your goals and your intentions in mind. Hey, Skywalker, we were missing you too. But
What's
we're always on time when we're supposed to show up, right?
always on time? So, and I
Hmm.
want to tell y'all real quick, y'all can't make executive decisions for nobody else but y'all. And unless you have somebody in your family in the vegetative states. Other than that,
Yeah,
you can't make executive decisions for anybody but you. And but
that
understand that your executive decision may affect those around you. That's important as well.
Yeah, that's true. And some of those executive decisions could be separating paths, moving into new career directions, moving into new directions in how you serve. They also could be sometimes staying in our lane, minding your business, right? Minding your business, make an executive decision to mind your business.
Mind your
And
shit. Mm.
um, also, too, I think it's imperative, because I was really reflecting on this a lot lately. About finding it's peace in your own heart for your own decisions and your own movements and your own intentions. It doesn't matter what people around us, their perceptions of it. It's your perception. It's your intent. You know what I mean about why you do the things you do, and you don't got to really prove nothing to nobody about what they think or they believe. If it's helping your growth and it's constructive criticism, sure. But if it's frequencies that are not supporting, then you have to make an executive decision to stay in your peace and not mess with them. You don't have
Let,
to feel bad about making that decision.
let me tell you. So, two things. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to remember both of them, but fuck it. First thing is, in my executive decision. Ah, damn! Look, I forgot both of them already. Say what's the last thing you just said?
About making executive decisions to stay in your peace. Like if you have peace in your heart over something, then you have to make that decision to stand in yourself and claim that about you. You don't have to explain it to nobody. You can, explain stuff to people till you're blue in the face. You don't owe that no to nobody. You owe yourself your own intention from what your heart was navigated at the time. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. Where
And
your intention was at the time, you know what I mean? And so, I mean, because we'll always be something in somebody's story, not to be cliche, but it's true. So what was your intention? You know what I mean? And what information did you have to go on to make the decisions that you made? If somebody's not speaking their truth, that ain't your fault. If you speak your truth and they can't speak theirs, what then you have to make an executive decision to not argue with them. You know what I mean? Some people can't come forward and just be honest. So
Yeah, so I kind of remember what I was about to say. So one, um, when we're talking about making executive decisions for our peace, I have come to a place in my life where, like, I have a strict set of rules. I would call them executive orders, if you will.
I
And
love it.
not many, like, I tell people in passing what they are. However, there's something, they're my boundaries, they're my code, my G code that I live by. And in 2023, if you break any of those executive orders, then I'm not fucking with you. So in the neighborhood,
Yeah.
things we do is a delusion. If you fuck with my delusion, because that's the thing too, like that goes to you not having to explain anything to anyone. You know what I'm saying? Like, what I need to keep me sane may not be what you need to keep you sane. And if you can't respect what it is that I need to keep me sane, then I'm going to make an executive decision that may affect, because executive decisions, like, an executive is responsible for a lot of people, places, and things. That's why it's an executive decision, because it's not just, it's a decision that is in and of itself, by its very nature, going to affect more than one person, because it's something that governs. Even if it's just a decision you make for yourself, it's going to affect somebody else, because you're only an executive when you have somebody to exec over, if that makes sense. So one, don't let
Ru-
you fucking play with your fucking delusions. Make the executive decision this year and moving forward, that don't nobody, whatever it is that you need to, like, whatever it is, whatever your piece is, like, if you're fucking with my delusions, you gotta fucking go. Because I'm trying to do something. You don't know what my calling is. You don't know what my gift is. But if you're fucking up what it is that I'm trying to fucking do right now, the executive decision is to cut it. And now everybody want to be the boss. Listen, I'm walking up and down New York City earlier this year, and everybody want to be the fucking boss and said they gotta do boss shit. It was some days I was so fucking tired. I wanted to pass out right in the middle of the fucking street. Everybody want to be the executive and make executive decisions until they got to do executive shit. Until you really got to fire somebody. You want to be the boss. You want to spend the boss money. You want the clout that come with being the boss, with being the executive, but you don't want to do the dirty job. You don't want to have to tell somebody, a person with 12 kids, you got to let them go because they incompetent. You gotta, and nobody else gonna do it, but your name on the line. So if it don't get done, is you look bad, you gotta do it. That might be you. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
to whom much is given, much is required. So in order to make an executive decision, you have to have some type of an authority. And so I would tell you not to abuse your authority in that executive decision as well.
Yeah, absolutely. We have to all, that's what I meant by a lot of times staying in our lane or finding our place. And sometimes we stumble upon that, you know what I'm saying? Um, Unknowingly, exactly, in those aspects as well. But the thing about it is that if you know what your purpose is serving and what lane you're in, that's the only thing you need to worry about. I
Mhm.
mean, from my perspective, um, I challenge, I do openly challenge people to actually to have that discernment for themselves and to be brave enough to step into that leader. And I like what you're speaking about with the leadership and stuff. That's true. But you're the navigator in your own path. You're the navigator in your own story. So sometimes you have to make those decisions, and sometimes some are hurtful. Some are things that we don't. Not that you're hurting anybody else, but some are things that the things turn out differently than the way that we thought they were going to. But you still have to do what's right for you and things of that nature. So it's really about taking accountability and I think a lot of times, like right now, executive decisions, once again, people are really finding their passions and their purposes, and I think it's imperative that you do so, because how many people are angry because they're stuck in a place that they just got caught up in? You know what I mean? Like they get up, they punch that 9 to 5. I mean, yeah, leadership's not for everybody, clearly, and the people that do like to punch a clock, that's that's good for them if that's what their calling is. There's nothing wrong with it. But if you know you don't belong in a place or in a space, then quit trying to fit yourself in the box that's not going to work for you. You know what I mean? Because your energy is just going to be like this, trying to punch yourself way out. And then you're eventually going to get stuck to where you don't feel like there's a way out. And there always is, essentially, but if you're just going to work harder than you initially had to, trying to control a situation versus actually making the executive decision you needed to make at the time. You know what I mean?
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh no, it's really just about trusting. Right now, it's kind of literally about not always trusting what you see, but trusting what you feel, what you know. And I feel like because what we want to see in a lot of situations too aren't always what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's like you can choose to see anything you want, but what you feel and what you see are two different things. You know what I'm saying? So
that's hilarious. So you can choose to see. That's fact. And something real quick, I forget really quickly.
Oh yeah, you good.
Everybody and that's I think one of the things I want people to come away with off this podcast is everybody, even if you don't feel like you have the ability to make an executive decision, it's probably because you gave your power away to somebody, or so you have to work your way back up to the point where you can make executive decisions. Sometimes you can't just go from where you are to executive decisions. Sometimes you kind of have to work your way back up, because you have to understand, certain decisions. Well, I guess you can, because your decisions affect you regardless, but certain decisions you just can't make when you've given your power away. You understand what I'm saying, if that makes sense? But the goal is to get everybody to understand that they are the commander in chief, the executive, the CEO, the CFO of their own life.
Absolutely, absolutely. Um, and the power, and I make I guess, God uses me to make executive decisions to call people out on their bullshit. but, or, but, and that's, or just kind of when you're in places and situations, and it's kind of like, man, I can't believe some of this stuff, but I just keep it in my little data bank, and I'm like, okay, I'm being shown this for a reason, and maybe it's not time yet. You know what I mean? So, I guess I don't give too much energy to try to figure everything out all at once, because I just let things kind of fall where they may. And I had to make an executive decision to not put myself in those positions, not to make myself crazy over things that I was like, okay, it's not time. It's not time. I guess I'll figure it out when it's time, when it's meant to be revealed, I guess, so to speak. So, and then, and also too, I guess I wanted to actually touch base on the whole healing aspects of it all. Make an executive decision to heal yourself. You're not your past wounds. You're not your parents' wounds. You have an executive decision. Some people, they stay stuck in their pain. I see so many people. I'm fortunate to speak with a lot of people, but even just in my daily passing of meeting people, it's like the pain is written so hard on so many people, on their energy, on their faces. There's just like this overwhelming sadness it's kind of like that box that we were speaking on, that people think they can't get themselves out of it, but you can. I mean, sometimes we got to work a little harder at it, but truly you can. You just got to, find the root of that. You know what I mean? And because sometimes we get comforted.
First place.
Yeah, they're comforted in their pain. It's like we're stepping into a whole new timeline, a whole new narrative, to where that timeline's not going to serve you anymore. And basically, and I think even facilitating a lot of readings and such, people, a misconception, I believe, is that people think they're being punished and things like that. No, inherently, we're unknowingly punishing ourselves, because it's almost like you're attaching yourself, or you're associating yourself to that pain energetically. And even though consciously you may not mean to, but subconsciously it's still vibrating somewhere. You know what I mean? And so I think that goes in tandem with that whole present moment. And that even saying that, as simple as it sounds, can also be such a confusing concept, because especially for me, I'll have myself all over the place with stuff like that. I mean, it's so simple and it's cut and dry, but then there's so many variations to it. You know what I mean? Because it also, the past experiences, is what created our armor, but also in the same aspects, um, it to be in that present moment and to not associate every new experience or every new relationship or every new whatever you're stepping into to actually attach that totally and walk in and say, okay, well this happened before, so that's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? That's where you kind of have to be able to separate that a little bit the best of your ability, or to be conscious of it. And I believe that that's kind of what staying in the present moment is, because and then those red flags when they pop up, yeah, then you'll have a trigger, and then you'll be able to make your executive decision from there. But don't walk in waiting for the trigger. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
So
definitely. And so I wanted to say make an executive decision. Well, I guess because I forgot. Like you gonna have to give me talking breaks because if you keep going, I'm gonna forget what I got.
yeah.
But I wanted to say you got to make an executive decision um to not be so hard on yourself, to give yourself
Yeah.
grace, but you got to make an executive decision to let yourself out of the box. You got to make the executive decision to allow yourself to be you. And that sounds like it should be so easy, but it's not. Like it's so hard being authentically who you are in this world. And so like it's a lot, and it's even harder to do that when you do have other people who depend on you. It's just like, okay, I can't, this executive decision is going to, but the crazy thing is if you do that, if you do make that decisions, then the people that are depending on you will be much better off. Because one, you'll show them that they are the executives of their lives and they don't have to be in anybody's box. And then you are out of the box and you're happier. And when you're happy, listen, let me tell you, manifestation. If I would learn one thing about magic, what's the name of the movie, the show, The School of Good and Evil? It says the magic
Oh
goes
yeah.
where the emotion flows. So the magic goes, if you cannot manifest from a sunken place, you can't manifest from a box. You understand what I'm saying? So you have to manifest. The only way that you can really get what you want out of this life, the only way that you can really do abracadabra shit is from a place of joy. So it's beneficial for people to keep you in a box. It's beneficial for people to take your executive power from you, because if you're sad, then you don't have. Because the thing about the happy emotion, it's like a drug. It's like it gives you energy. It gives you energy where scientists and other people can't find energy, where coffee, drinks, and all those. And so it gives you the energy to create things. Like I'm thinking of my tarot cards, the Wheel of Fortune, the lady who draws gold thread from hey, you know what I'm saying? Like it gives you the energy to keep fucking going. You know what I'm saying? That's what happiness does. And so when you're in a box and you're not the executive of your life, you let somebody take your happiness. Therefore, they've taken your power. Therefore, they've taken your ability to manifest. And now you're wondering why. Now you saying, well, God, why did you do this? And why are you punishing me? But like exactly what you said, I'm not punishing you. You did this to yourself.
Yeah, unknowingly a lot of times, and you don't know till you know. And then, but that's, I mean, but there's beauty. There's beauty if we're on Transmutation Station. So, and in reality, there's beauty in those lessons as well. And
That
so, you know what I mean. So, and that's part of like what you said about compassion and grace for yourself, because that's there's a gift within it all, because you don't know till you know. And so
you
the
don't know.
adventure, the yeah, you don't know, and the adventure is beautiful on its own. You know what I'm saying? And so
Yeah.
um it's Alice in Wonderland stuff. I kind of like it, because you get to, yeah, you can stumble on all these little magical worlds. You might fall in a couple rabbit holes, but you keep your little face out. You get to crawl back out, like, and but when at the time, I guess it's probably not. At the time, you're probably like, "What the f," right? But when you actually navigate yourself out of that space, you have a whole new sense of respect and everything for yourself and those around you, because you realize how everybody played a part in all of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like being on shrooms after you came out. It's like, oh damn, that was a fucking experience, But I'm with you. That's one of the things that I really love. Shout out to Jasmine, she's one of my followers. But one of the things I really love is the idea of like of going through, of having gone through. Like, had we not gone through, we wouldn't be able um tell these stories and sit and talk to people. And that's one thing I don't want to rob anybody out of.
Oh yeah. Well, I
Rob
say
take my experience away from me. And that sounds crazy, but if you don't without the experience, you don't get experience. You understand? And without experience equals knowledge. So when people try to do things for you, sometimes they try to take your experience away from you. That's the executive an executive thing, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
if we're transmuting transmutation station, that is the beautiful part of having not having your power. Like you said, you don't know you don't have power. You don't know you don't have you aren't making executive decisions until you fucking know. You be like, oh damn, how did that happen?
Right. You gotta have the coins in the bank to start paying out the bills. You know what I mean? To
Yeah.
be able to lay it all out in front of you and be like, okay, I'm gonna get this, I'm gonna get that, and now I
Mm,
can navigate here and navigate there. And that's what I think is really like we're in that. I feel like we're in that time frame right now where we're choosing timelines, big time. We're jumping timelines, and it's almost like and if anybody's feeling like a little it's almost like I feel like we're like at one where you're in one you got one foot in one timeline, you got one foot in another right now, and they're kind of
for real.
intermingling because that's how I feel like it's wild because that's what it is. It's almost like you're jumping back and forth to narratives in a way. It's like you could be full speed ahead, and then all of a sudden something wants to pull you back, and then all of a sudden you got to one foot in one space and one foot in the other, and you're like, whoa, what the heck's going on? But I just because I think that's where you're at the precipice of actually busting through. You know what I mean? And uh, it's interesting. It's been very interesting. And I know when I even said that, I thought that you would have today was pretty wild energetically. Um, I thought that there was. I would have thought. I felt like the actual full moon from my perspective or on my end seemed kind of. I do good in full moons, really. Do you? I wonder if that Scorp.
Yeah, that Scorpio is boy. I be riding the fucking waves with
Uh huh.
I be riding dolphins like the fucking Great Dane whale, bitch. Whatever they is, I be riding. I be surfboarding like Beyonce, bitch. I ain't going much hoe.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
I always kind of feel like I do good in full moon energy, and then I kind of get like the little residuals or whatever. But I always think that that's the Scorpio, the Scorp rising I have, but I think you have it too, right?
yeah. But all my like, if it's one thing about me during the moon, I'm gonna cry. But it don't matter. Like it's going to like I could be watching a show and I'm gonna cry. Like I am I feel I don't like to be around people when the moon, like in my moon phases and all of the moon phases, get the fuck away from me. Cause I am my
Yeah.
most sensitive. And that sounds crazy, but I'm probably my most psychic, but I'm also my most
Yeah,
sensitive. Get the fuck away from me. Oh, I
yeah,
also want to say, I'm listen, I picked the fucking timeline. I'm good. Like fuck it. I was tired of being that push and pull in between one or two timelines. Fuck that.
yeah.
I made the executive decision to choose to make a choice because guess what? No choice is a decision. Fuck that.
That's true.
I want
That's
to be
true.
clear. I don't want the universe to make the decision for me. I want to put my best foot forward and I want to what they say co-create with the universe, bitch.
Absolutely, absolutely co-create. Yep. Because and that's another thing too. And that's interesting because I pulled patience when you were talking because and that's the divine timing too because we just have to put our order in and then meet the universe there. You know what I mean? You can't dictate how it's going to happen, how it's going to go down. You just got to cash in your order. And I think that unknowingly so many people they're trying to be in control of everything. It's like, yeah, you're in control of your decisions, but you're not in control of like you're don't close the doors to the outcomes or how it could possibly work itself out or come around to you. You know what I mean? And they just have their mindset on just one narrative of how it could go down. You know?
Look at this. I'm sorry. I'm not cutting you off,
No,
but
you're good. You're good. I was good.
open my deck and it's just run it back. But look at what card came out. What's on the bottom of this?
What's it say? Oh, transmute. Yeah, baby. We're not playing. We're not playing.
You got no fucking fake psychics, bitch. This real life. The fuck?
It is real life, I know. And it's funny, the whole patience thing and divine timing and even I mean, even when I do readings and stuff for people, I I do tell people straight up. It's like, no, don't stop, don't, to the best of my ability. And I'm not saying I haven't been guilty of it myself at times. You know what I'm saying? Of trying to figure it all out. And sometimes you just gotta let it go because you're really blocking your own stuff from moving forward. Literally.
Marcy, did you see the next card that popped out?
I seen the infinity symbol, but I got
It
my little
said,
wait.
it says psychic.
That's crazy. I love spirit so much. I love spirit so much.
That's crazy. Okay, but yes, agree to everything you just said.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
So
I know you gotta run. I gotta run. I'm trying to get my y'all. Listen, I've been in this bitch I am the avatar bitch. I've been trying to master transmuting everything like fire, bitch. I'm officially a fire vendor. I've learned how to. One of my biggest things was learning how to temper myself because they say if you can't control your emotions, you can't control your money. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? And we're not doing all of this for nothing. We're doing all of this to live a better and a happier life. What's popping new age job? Bitch, you gotta run this back because we in
Hey,
this
Ja.
going.
Yeah.
If,
Um,
if the magic is on, girl.
I just pulled mother, and it's the mother, and I'm open to my mother's humanness and her divinity. Well, that's because the earth wants to nurture you from the heavens to the earth. There's no big hand going to come from the sky and pick your ass up. It wants to balance out. Everything wants to balance. And just like a mother, an actual physical mother, would cradle her baby in her arms, the earth, the balance of the earth, the womb of the earth wants to cradle you as well. So that also falls into that grace and that compassion that Hope Dealer was speaking of, because we have to offer ourselves that grace as well, and also to allow ourselves to receive what we don't think we're worthy of.
Hmm.
And that's the undoing of all of those chains and everything that everybody's talking about. Not to be cliche, but it is true. I mean, and sometimes they're baby steps, and sometimes they're full. You keep running around that same block, you're gonna get the same answers. You got to cross the street for sure. Look both ways, but cross the street.
New life. And you just said that your painting behind you was already.
Oh yeah, it's called it's called The Beginning. And man, I literally I'm gonna move back so people can actually look at it, because I did really want to share it. And it was a gift to me from I'm gonna say she's an earth angel. And um I thought she actually she gave it to me. And when I started to look at it, I was like, man, there's so much going on in this thing. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But and feel free to interpret it the way that you will. But there's so much going on. It's beautiful. I like how there's a little peacock. Like, look at how the little it's almost like the leaves. They're like peacock eyes, and then there's the cross that's separating and then the tulips and everything is beautiful. So I was like, wow, and things like that. It's odd because, not really odd, but cool things like that always. It's like God always sends me things when I'm meant to have them. I knew I was meant to have that. I literally cried all the way home, and I'm like looking at it, and I was like, okay. And I have yet to. I'm gonna frame it, but because basically, what a gift or what a blessing that God sent that person to gift me that. And it's her actual, she actually drew it and she channeled it. That's channeled. There ain't no way. Like, you just don't sit, not to take away from anybody's intelligence, but you just don't sit and start like, okay, I'm going to draw all of this and have this all going on. And basically, I met this person one time, but I get to take her energy, I get to share her energy a lifetime. And how beautiful is that? You know what I
That's
mean? And so yeah, I'm grateful. See, I'm all in my feels right now about it. But yeah, I mean, it's beautiful. But I felt like it was actually a definite gift from a divine mother for sure.
oh
So
yeah. So I'm about to do a quick read for us because
yeah, baby, do it. Let's
this
do
is
it.
playing together. I don't have any tarot cards. I just got all oracle cards. So it's crazy when we were shuffling. The
Yeah.
card came out. So first transmute came out, and then psychic came out, and then divine feminine came out. So I'm gonna take the time to read all of those. But
Yes,
before I
please.
even get to those, I pulled a card from my Lemuria deck, and it's new blueprints, and so I might read from that. But I just wanted everybody to know that you're protected and that you have the strength. Um, and I don't know, you have the ability really right now to really create that new blueprint, that refocus that I was talking about in one of my videos this week. Like you really have the ability to create what you want, and it's going to be for the world to see, because I heard somebody say, because God wants people to, like, the way he's going to bless you, he wants people, like, it's no way but it wasn't anything anybody but him, you understand? So he's going to bless you so big. So go fearlessly. Something is coming to you fearlessly. Oh, and I wanted to say, you're going to be overwhelmed with joy, like emotions, like you're going to be like calm and peaceful. I don't know, and that's all I see. I see this dark blue, and like, like you have this knowing about you. But let me read these cards real quick. I'm going to read Transmute for first because it came out first, and it's angels with us because it's the number 44. As it says, to transmute is to convert one energy into another. The snake is a powerful symbol of transmutation. You are being invited to accept its gifts of shedding to help you process something important. Use this ability to make magic by transmitting the snake's energy into something new and beneficial for your growth. Meditate on this symbol when you need assistance in changing your energy in life. So if y'all need some assistance in changing your energy, but especially because of all that's going on, listen, tap into the snake energies. It says the snake represents our ability to connect to our own inner alchemist, to let go of the old by uh, being able to shed its skin, thereby allowing constant evolution. And the crazy thing is, the word evolution has been, it's the word of the year. And I don't mean for it to be, but this is gonna be a year of so much rapid evolution. Hey, sunshine. It's gonna be
Hey,
so much rapid evolution that we're not going to be able to keep up. Like, we're going to, like, the way our bodies change, the way our minds, the way we grow, and hopefully, and the one thing I keep telling people is, y'all, please take advantage of this energy, because it's not going to be here for long. All right, divine feminine. I'm going. It says the
you're
divine
good, girl. You're good.
the divine feminine is receptive, creative, empathetic, emotional. In her highest aspect, she represents collaboration, nurturing, sharing, birthing, inclusiveness, and vulnerability in uh in her perfect harmony with the world around her. Drawing this card can indicate that more of the divine feminine energy is required in your current situation or relationship to thrive. This can also represent mother sister relationship, and a powerful relationship with women. This is the pagan symbol for maiden, mother crone. We just got out that mother energy, didn't we? And last but not least, psychic. And I think this is so crazy that it just came out. Like, I literally said, we not playing, we real
I know, I know, I know.
psychic card literally fucking popped out when I said it. Y'all, I'm over this shit. So psychic, it says to hold on, let me see, because look, I went back to transmute. Um, it says intuition, empathic gifts, psychic visions, prophecy, and powerful dreaming are present. You now have access to a greater wisdom that is beyond what the human eye can see. This is a time of great awakening. New psychic abilities and gifts can come to you now. See sacredness in your visions. Pay attention to your dreams, the symbols that are repeating as messages. Meditate on this symbol when you want to expand your healing, creative, dreaming, and psychic abilities. The Pisces is one of the most profound and sacred geometrical symbols of the ancient modern times, a magical symbol of two intersecting circles. The name literally means fish in Latin. I always tell people this Pisces is the genie in the bottle. We got Saturn in Pisces. We have I can't even fucking explain what is going on right now, and the ability for that to what we have the ability to create. You have, what if somebody told you got 3 years to create, you got magic for 3 years. You not gonna even, you can plant as many magic seeds as you want to for the next 3 years, and they're gonna flourish for as long as you want them to.
It's exciting. I think you literally manifest ever since you were little. Like what you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
all if you go back and you really think about it, it kind of being a reflective period and you think about like even music you used to like or music you used to listen to, the things you used to do when you were little. You used to lay in the grass, to lay in the grass all the time and look up at the sky all the time when I was little. You know? So I was always dreaming up some things always
All
for
right, last,
sure.
'cause I know we gotta run. I know we gotta run. It says, "Be the change. Take action. Take a step, no matter how small. Ignite an upward spiral. Make a positive change. Ethics, compassion, creating a ripple of light." This card inspires action, no matter how small. That will create a ripple of light in the world. You are a part of a bigger picture, a greater story, and your actions, choices, and presence are making a difference. You have more power than you realize. Focus on what you can do and do it well. Change takes time. So make plans and start now. Change takes time. So make plans and start now. All right. So yeah, all
Absolutely.
like get your life in order so that you can make the executive decisions for your life so that you can create the only way that you can create the life that you want is if you have power over your life.
Absolutely, absolutely. And yeah, open the gates, open the doors. What is that? Open the doors of your heart and welcome in the gates of sovereignty and abundance. And as you step into the timelines of your actual the frequencies and the families that you want to welcome in and the type of people you want to welcome into your life because your frequency that you're on is actually the frequency that's going to serve you. Like you said, energy goes where her mind flows, where energy goes, or whatever you said. That part, like you say, that part. I'm going to read this real quick because I love the Book of Freedom.
The book of light.
Thank you for.
Okay.
Oh yeah, the Book of Light. I said the Book of Light because I pulled Freedom. It's a number 45 excerpt. Um, Freedom is magical. It makes you feel as if you have done what needed to be done, that you are where you need to be, and that everything is in its place. Freedom is not a place. You do not have to go anywhere. You do not have to do anything in order to be free. To be free is to be aware that life is yours and yours alone, and that you should live it to the fullest and be who you are without making concessions. Amen. Obviously, you may take others into consideration, but you must set boundaries. There are people who solely live for others. Everything they do for others. They live their lives to please other people. These people are constantly making concessions in their lives. They strive to live up to other people's expectations. And once the pressure becomes unbearable, they desperately seek freedom in a vain attempt to find themselves. Yet they always look for freedom outside of themselves by running away from who they are. They set off in search of freedom. I do not go anywhere in order to be free. The most I can do is go because I am free. Only when you have inner freedom may you go on to do what you wish. Sorry, I lose my spot, you guys. For everything that you do will inevitably reflect the person that you already are.
Mm.
Um, Let me see here. Why is my thing keep clicking out? Actually, I'm gonna pull them. Okay. And what is inner freedom? It is living each emotion to the fullest, however insignificant it may seem. Feel who you are and do not make concessions. Feel, feel, feel. This feeling will provide you with precious spiritual knowledge about who you are and what you came to do upon this earth. Feel, open your heart, and follow your intuition. Then and only then act on it. Once you are on this path, you will find the most fabulous way of being free. Jesus.
Hmm. I'm
Wow,
glad.
I do I love bringing this book into Transmutation Station because it that whole thing just it always just like your cards and the cards that we pull and what we're talking about it every time it always ties it in and
Every
how
time.
beautiful is that that seriously and it's not you know what I was just thinking hey guess what shout out to you neighborhood hope dealer and me for getting through a transmutation station without any damn interference. We done shifted a timeline because we didn't give that shit any more energy. Right?
They just stopped fucking with us at this point. They was like, all right, you're gonna try again fucking late.
Yeah. They figured out we were roaches. We're gonna keep coming back for more. All right.
And it's been so long. It's so pretty.
Oh, it's good to see you too. We'll be back. We'll be coming back on consecutively. We'll get back in order. We just had to, we were doing our thing and setting some boundaries in our own lives and healing ourselves. So for sure.
People to take care of, guys. We just can't take care of you all the time. We got other lives to heal and bless, baby.
Absolutely. Yep. We have to learn and evolve so we can come back with some new material, right?
We out getting stuff for y'all. That's it. That's all.
Right. I guess the Peace Dealer's coming on at 8. So open up some space and watch the astrology reports. What's he doing the astrology for the week?
Probably.
Cool. Yeah. We love you too. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. Thanks for supporting Transmutation Station. And we have lots of new topics coming up in I think we should just do a live message and question session, or a live question session. Yeah. So I think everything's connected and combining, and don't be afraid to step into it. Just let the magic flow. Just let the magic flow. Step into yourself, claim your sovereignty, and be the badass motherfucker that you are. That was the first time I swore in this whole thing. Right?
I wish the same was true for me, but I doubt it.
Via universe, let the universe nurture you so you can receive your blessings. You're not being punished or without. Allow that energy to flow into you. And I just pulled honor and trust your feelings. So yeah, that's a good one, but that could be just as tricky as the present moment thing. You know what I mean? Because it's just, we have eyes, but sometimes we have to trust this for sure. Because you can physically see anything you want to see, and you can talk yourself into anything you want to talk yourself into in your mind. So yeah, so
it's become real. If you tell it is real in your mind, it becomes real.
Absolutely, for sure. That's why I do have the same thing you said about those set of rules and everything. Set of rules that you have, the code of the hope dealer that you live by. I got the code for myself as well. And it's imperative for everybody. Just come up with your set of rules, live your life accordingly, and make no concessions about it. And that's going to step you into your freedom. Hurt no one, but also hurt nobody, but also don't sacrifice yourself trying to, prove something to everybody. Yeah. You don't got to prove nothing to nobody because you're responsible for you and what you bring into your life. So,
and that's it.
Yeah. God bless you all. Thank you for joining us.
Bye, guys.
Bye.